Phillips, Deputy County Attorney. It's my distinct privilege and honor to start today's Board of Registration and Elections meeting. The first order of business is to have our newly appointed board members sworn in. We have the privilege of being joined by the Chief Judge of the Probate Court of DeKalb County. Judge Hargrove will conduct the swearing in, and then we will move to the board's agenda to elect a chair and vice chair. So with that, Judge Hargrove, we thank you for being here. The floor is yours.
Great, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here today to administer your oath so that you can begin your official duties in your capacity. So at this time, I am going to ask the board members to stand. And Vasha, you do not have to stand. I know you're via Zoom. I don't think we'll see your face. We won't have the privilege of seeing your face. Okay, great. And I then am going to ask each of you to raise your right hand and then state your names from left to right.
Carly Swift.
Basu Abhiraman.
Awoyunla Dele Loman.
Travis Bowden.
Very good. And please repeat after me. Do swear or affirm
Do
Swear or affirm
that I will, as a member of the Board of Elections,
that I will, as a member of the Board of Elections,
duly attend
duly attend
all ensuing primaries and elections
all ensuing primaries and elections
during the continuance thereof,
during the continuance thereof,
that I will be the best, to the best of my ability,
that I will be, to the best of my ability,
prevent any fraud, deceit, or abuse
Prevent any fraud, deceit, or abuse
in carrying on the same,
and carrying on the same,
and that I will make a true and perfect return
and that I will make a true and perfect return
of such primaries and elections,
of such primaries and elections,
and that I will at all times
and that I will at all times
truly, impartially, and faithfully
truly, impartially, and faithfully
perform my duties in accordance with the Georgia laws
perform my duties in accordance with the Georgia laws
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and abilities.
I do further solemnly swear or affirm
I do
Further
solemnly swear and affirm
that I am not the holder of any unaccounted for
that I am not the holder of any unaccounted for
public money
public money
due this state
due this state
or any political subdivision or authority thereof,
or any political
authority or
subdivision
subdivision thereof,
that I am not the holder of any office of trust
that I am not the holder of any office of trust
under the government of the United States,
under the government of the United States,
any other state,
any other state,
or any foreign state,
or any foreign state,
which I am prohibited from holding
which I am prohibited from holding
by the laws of the state of Georgia,
by the laws of the state of Georgia,
and that I am otherwise qualified
and that I am otherwise qualified
to hold said office
to hold said office
according to the Constitution of the United States
according to the Constitution of the United States
and the laws of Georgia,
and the laws of
Georgia,
that I will support the constitutions of the United States
that I will support the constitutions of the United States
and of this state,
and of this state.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we're going to go ahead and do the loyalty oath. And we will do the exact same process on this. I will ask you to state each of your names from left to right. I
Carly Swift,
Basu Abhiraman.
Awoyunla Dele Loman.
Travis Bowden.
a citizen of the state of Georgia,
a citizen of the state of Georgia,
and being an employee of DeKalb County,
And being an employee of DeKalb County,
and the recipient of public funds for services rendered,
and the recipient of public funds for services rendered.
as such employee,
As such employee,
do hereby solemnly swear and affirm
do hereby solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of Georgia.
and the Constitution of Georgia.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, great. Very good. Thank you all so much, and congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. We will get these documents duly signed. I'll make sure all of that happens before I leave. And I just do want to make a special note to say that it truly is an honor to come over here to swear you all in. It's one of my constitutional duties that I perform, swearing in elected officials, and I appreciate your respect and honor to be sworn in by me, and I am honored to swear elected officials in. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
members in public, we will just pause for a minute to make sure that the judge is satisfied with the forms that have been prepared by you guys, and then we'll reconvene. So if we could just recess for just a brief moment. I'd like to take a point of personal privilege, board members, to congratulate you publicly. Thank you for your service in advance. We, on behalf of the county attorney, look forward to working with you. It's my honor to get your meeting moving forward, so I am going to follow Robert's rules and ask for a motion to come out of recess. So for the record, Ms. Lee moved and Mr. Bowden seconded. Did I get that right? All in favor by a show of hands? So unanimously, we're out of recess. All right, would you please glance at the agenda before you? I ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Ms. Swift has given the motion. Mr. Bowden has seconded. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Aye.
That was unanimous, so the agenda is approved. I believe the first item of business before you is the election of a chair. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is there a motion for a chair of the board?
I would like to make a motion that Carly Swift be the chair of the DeKalb County Board of Registration and Elections.
Second.
We have a motion and second for Ms. Swift as chair. Any deliberation, discussion? With that, I'll call the question. All in favor of Ms. Swift serving as chair, by a show of hands?
Aye.
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 Let the record reflect that was a unanimous vote for Ms. Swift as chair. With that, I beg your indulgence, Ms. Swift, I'm going to turn the meeting over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, colleagues. I'm looking forward to a great and collaborative term. So with that, let's move to our election of a vice chair. So can I get a motion on the floor?
I would like to move to nominate Vasu Abirahman as our vice chair.
Can I get a second? I'll second that. Okay, so is there any discussion?
Are you taking more nominations?
So we will need to, since there is a motion on the floor,
Okay.
we will vote on that, and then if it fails, we would, there'd be an opportunity for a follow-up motion.
Okay.
Just to, is that Mr. Phillips?
Ms. Lee, if you wanted to make a substitute motion, the rules allow you to make a substitute motion. That is your prerogative.
Well, I would like to nominate Travis Bowden for vice chair.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all right, so we would take a vote. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Okay, and then all opposed? Aye.
Opposed?
Okay, so that motion fails, so then we would need a secondary, another motion,
You would go back to the
the
original.
original motion. Thank you.
You want to call?
So we would call the original motion, which is to nominate Vasu Abirahman as vice chair, and that was seconded by,
Oh, yeah.
I seconded that motion. Okay, so motion's on the table, we'll take a vote, all in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, all opposed?
Nay.
Okay, so I think, was that a
4-1.
4-1? Okay, all right, great. Thank you. All right, so with that, we're going to move to the roll call. I just want to confirm everyone has had the opportunity to sign. Yes. Good afternoon, board members. When I call your name, please respond by saying here. Vasu Abirahman. Gil Lee.
Here.
Sorry, I couldn't hear the roll call.
We'll start over. Good afternoon, board members. When I call your name, please respond by saying here. Vasu Abirahman,
Here.
Gil Lee,
Here.
Travis Bowden,
Here.
Dele Loman,
Here.
Carly Swift.
Here.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Since we have already approved the agenda, we'll move into public comment.
I'm back. Public comment may be made in person or submitted by sending an email of 1 printed page or less in a minimum font of 12 to electionspubliccCMT@DeKalbCountyGA.gov, which must be received between 35 and 5 minutes before the scheduled start of the meeting. The body of your email must include your first and last name. By submitting an email for public comment, you agree to have your name and email broadcast on the Ustream and entered into the record in minutes. The DeKalb Board of Registration reserves the right at the board's sole discretion to add your email into the record or minutes without reading any of it into the broadcast, or to read all or a portion of your email into the record or minutes. All public comments must be limited to 2 minutes. Abusive, profane, or derogatory language, holding up signs, clapping, yelling, standing, or laying in the aisles to show support or opposition to a speaker will not be permitted, but a show of hands or quietly standing in place will be permitted to show your support or opposition to a speaker.
Thank you. Janet Grant.
Good afternoon. My name's Janet Grant, and I live in the city of Decatur. I have served as a poll worker for the last 5 years, and now as an area manager responsible for 10 precincts in the Decatur area. I'll be brief, as I know this meeting is intended to be brief. First, I want to congratulate all the board members on your appointments. I really appreciate your willingness to serve in this capacity. While most of you were nominated by a political party, you are now representing all of us, and your responsibility is to assure free and fair elections by supporting and resourcing the voting process here in DeKalb County, continuing the real progress that we've made over the last few years here, and, of course, complying with state and federal law. Second, I strongly recommend that those of you who are new to election administration participate in a robust orientation with the VRE staff, including going through the same training that we as poll managers go through, and maybe working in the November election. Until I was a poll manager and actually worked an election, I had no idea of the complexity of the process and the thorough system of checks and balances that are in place. I would welcome your participation in any one of my polls. And lastly, I want to thank the VRE team and the hundreds of DeKalb poll workers for another successful election this week. Each election, I'm impressed with the commitment of all to serve our voters and to execute an election with excellence. Thanks, and I look forward to your board service over the next 2 years.
Michael Beach.
Hey, thanks. I'm Michael Beach, resident of DeKalb County. I'm an assistant poll manager here in Decatur. Greetings to the new board members. Thanks for taking on this task. Many times thankless, but thank you for doing this. I just echo what Janet just said, which is please go through the manager training. Attend and see what's happening during the election, because it's complex and it's really great to get a feel for that. So 3 quick comments. I want to thank the staff, Keisha Smith, the staff for once again improved training, the improved forms, educational aids we were allowed to take, we had things we could take home, and the drop-off procedure that was tested this time. It was faster. And so I really appreciate, everybody back there, appreciate how every time we go through this, it seems to be improving and make it easier. Because I got to say, the first time I went through, my head exploded because there was so much. And it's getting easier and better. 2 things. We found during the election the ATI, this audio tactile interface that's on the ADA thing, and it's got a little keyboard. Just for staff to know, it would be great to bring in a few people that are blind to actually go through that. Because the first pick when you go there is to pick the audio portion, and you can't see it. So how does a blind person do it without assistance? That should be part of the programming at check-in. So just so you know, that's a little bit cumbersome and requires assistance. The other is my pet peeve, which is thank you for early voting. Thank you for a county-wide database where you can go anywhere. Why on earth are we not doing that on election day? So here we are telling people you can do a provisional or you're out of precinct, go this other place. And people are just taking time off from work, they're in the wrong place, and we're saying you're in the wrong precinct. It's the same database. We're in the electronic age. I know you can't make that decision, but there's an elections committee meeting currently where we can advocate, like use the, no problem.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Oh. Sorry, guys. Was my time right? Okay. Nancy Arnold.
Hello, I'm Nancy Arnold. I'm a DeKalb resident, and I wanted to congratulate everyone for their new appointment. And I wanted to take the opportunity to say, since I have worked with Gail Lee for the past 3 years, to tell you I'm thrilled that she's on the board. She is kind, she is gentle, she's thoughtful, she's meticulous about the law and details. She always seeks God's wisdom, and I'm really grateful that she's on the board today. I look forward to the next 2 years where our journey of the infamous 3-2 vote will probably continue. So, Travis, thank you for being on the board too.
Liz Troop.
Hi, thank you. I hope this body will have an earnest discussion about how DeKalb will comply with SB 189, the bill that passed in 2024. It banned the use of a QR code, barcode, or similar coding by July 1st, 2026. That bill restricts vote counting to the human readable text on ballots, even though our software does not do that. And it's extremely unlikely that such software could even be approved to meet state and federal standards by next year's elections. Will DeKalb just wait in hopes that our fractured state legislature will delay that deadline? Will you hope that the Secretary of State delays it, and will that be legal? As you know, the existing voting equipment is already fully capable of reading non-QR code ballots. That's the good news. Both absentee and emergency ballots read filled-in bubbles which have been hand-marked by voters. This optical scan voting system is considered the gold standard for secure elections and complies with Georgia election laws. 2026 is coming very soon. This seems like an emergency to me, but the Blue Ribbon Election Committee and Gavrio seem to have focused elsewhere. The BRE needs to figure out how to comply with SB 189. Hand-marked paper ballots, optically scanned, are the secure and practical alternative. Thank you.
Bill Henderson.
Hi, I'd like to congratulate all of you who made the cut to be appointed to the DeKalb Board of Elections. Now, the previous board did an exceptional job of managing and supervising the incredibly complex job of implementing elections in the county, and I applaud them for it. I am confident that this board will be just as successful in that task. My only issue with the previous board was their handling of citizen challenges and voter roll maintenance in general. Recently, the Secretary of State's office announced that they would be stepping up their maintenance of the state's voter roll by looking into registrations that are tied to post office boxes and businesses, as well as those that are registered in other states. Ironically, my challenges that I made last year on these issues presented directly to this board are ultimately the main reason why I'm not sitting up there with you. So, unfortunately, a faction of the previous board would not recognize that some citizens do have the knowledge, experience, and skills to find these problems on our voter roll and want to help make our election system more credible and trustworthy. They apparently did not acknowledge that at least half of the general public already have questionable confidence and trust in the security of our elections based on past controversies. That faction, to me, seemed predetermined to deny any challenge, regardless of how indisputable the evidence was presented. This faction seemed to have treated the citizen challenge process as an annoying intrusion into their list maintenance process, which they were forced to deal with and felt that they needed to discourage. So it's my hope that this new board will rethink their attitudes to the citizen challenge process and approach any future challenges with open minds. I hope that they reasonably consider the evidence presented and make their decisions based on that evidence. I hope they ignore the advice given to them by numerous NGOs who proclaim to be nonpartisan but are in reality anything but. And I hope they show respect to the challenger by expressing the reasoning for their decisions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kendra Bogalski.
I'm impressed you said my name correctly, so thank you. Good afternoon, members of the DeKalb Board of Voter Registrations and Elections. I'm Kendra Bogalski. I'm a previous poll worker, I'm a poll observer, and newly elected chair of the DeKalb County Republican Party. I'm here to celebrate the swearing in of our appointees, Gail Lee and Travis Bowden. We're confident in their dedication to ensure fair and transparent elections here in DeKalb County. I must raise a concern, however. For the second time, a chief judge rejected appointees that were approved by our county committee, leaving us with less than 36 hours to find, vet, and submit new nominees. This tight timeline complicates our ability to provide thoroughly vetted candidates and undermines the collaborative process needed for effective representation. The DeKalb GOP is unwavering in its support for DeKalb's elections. Our members serve as poll workers, observers, and risk-limiting auditors performing critical public services to uphold electoral integrity. For example, our party supplied the only volunteer risk-limiting auditors for the June 17th risk-limiting audit for the special primary PSC election. Despite what some claim, supporting a clean voter roll is not about disenfranchising voters. It's about protecting legal votes. Maintaining accurate voter rolls is a legal requirement under both state and national laws, ensuring every eligible voter's voice is heard without dilution. The DeKalb GOP is committed to this mission, and we stand behind our newly elected appointees to strengthen trust in DeKalb's elections. Thank you all for your service to our community. Let's work together to ensure DeKalb's elections remain fair, transparent, and lawful. Thank you all so much.
Cheryl Dudley.
Hi, Cheryl Dudley, 40-year resident of actually a little bit more of DeKalb County. I'll be a little bit different in my remarks, as always. Today marks the 5th anniversary of the passing of John Lewis, one of the most respected, one of the most important voter activists in our United States history. Someone who literally fought and suffered for people to have voting rights, which is a good reason to say, I hate to be negative, but people actually died so people today could have voting rights. I humbly ask this board to continue as they have. They have been going to meetings the last full year of continuing to ensure that we still have the free and fair elections that we have. There is nothing. You will face challenges definitely in the future. If the meeting, the Blue Ribbon Study on Election Security Board meeting is any indication, on Tuesday, a nonpartisan group, which interestingly enough, nonpartisan means 5 Republicans and 1 Democrat. And she asked some very good questions. This election board will even face challenges on if laws are passed on how the election board makeup is done. I know they will be going around the state. I kind of got a little bit of a maybe not so much, again, on security and safety, is not cutting down early voting election time, getting rid of absentee ballots. That was what one individual who got up there and also used a case, very interestingly enough, an environmental case with Chevron, to say that I think there should be less regulation of elections, because that's what that was.
Thank you.
But remember, I didn't hear the bing, bing, bing.
No, I heard it. We heard it.
Remember, we're here, we want free and fair.
Okay, thank
and we
you.
don't want to go backward.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you, everyone in the public who just gave comments. I just wanted for folks who are just joining us, our process is that we allow the public to make comments, and we don't respond during the public comment period. If there are questions that come up, there's always someone here that's after the meeting or during the meeting to follow up on specific items that come up during that time. So moving right along, today's meeting is held for one reason. As part of a new Georgia law, we are required to have a pre-certification meeting. In that meeting, our executive director will give us an overview of a pre-certification report that each of the board members has in their packets. And this meeting, and I'll allow the director to talk through the certification report. I just want to remind the members of the board that during the period between the end of an election and actual certification, the office is working to resolve any issues. This is a standard process so that when we are certifying the election next Monday, we will have the correct numbers and we're able to make that decision. Okay, with that, Ms. Smith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. What you have before you in the packet on page 2 are the unofficial and incomplete results for the special PSC District 3 Democratic runoff. You will note that for this election, 24,198 ballots were cast. On election day, 18,679. Advanced voting, we processed 5,347, and absentee by mail, we received 172. So as the chair stated, in accordance with State Elections Board Rule 183-1-12-12, which requires the Board of Registration and Elections to hold a meeting after Election Day for the limited purpose of conducting a review of precinct returns. We have compiled a report for each precinct, which the board shall compare the total numbers of ballots cast to the total number of unique voter IDs. And beginning on page 3, you will see the report that the staff has compiled with that information, and I'm pleased to report that as shown and displayed on the report in the pages 3 through 8, there were no discrepancies. So the total number of ballots cast matches the total number of voter credits for this election. And that concludes the report and the review of the report. I do want to thank my staff along with the poll workers who helped facilitate this election with excellence again. Thank you.
I do want to open it up for any questions. There isn't a decision to be made today, but if there are any questions for the director, I'll start with Mr. Bowden, and we can come around if you have any. No questions? Okay. Ms. Lemon?
Could you describe where the numbers come from?
For each precinct, what we compare is the number of ballots that were cast comes directly from the tabulation. So during the election night, the tabulation that's occurring in the GEMS room, that number is reflected there under the number of ballots cast. The credits came from the poll pads and our ePulse system for in-person voting, or they were entered directly into Jarvis for absentee.
And, excuse me, is there any effort made to find if there are duplicate names or numbers? Excuse me.
Yes, that's during this process. So if there would have been a duplication, it would be reflected in the report, either under the number of ballots or the unique voter IDs.
Okay. And as I understand, there were no precincts that had more ballots than voters. Is that correct?
That's correct, as
Wonderful.
reflected on the report.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Mr. Abaraman?
Nothing from me.
Okay, nothing for me either. Thank you, Ms. Smith, for this report. We do sometimes see a different report because this is, the time when you're reviewing. So this is great. With that, is there a need for executive session today?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you. So we will move into board comments. Mr. Bowden.
I have no comments at this time, except for saying I'm honored to be a part of this board, and I look forward to serving with the other members of this group.
Ms. Lohman?
While I did not expect to be back on the board, I am honored to be serving once again, and I think that if it were possible, the responsibility that we hold as members of this board has increased even further, and I look forward to us setting an example in the county and in the state of upholding the Constitution and our state laws and ensuring that every eligible voter is able to participate in elections.
Ms. Lee?
Thank you. Yesterday, I came in and observed canvassing here in the election office. And for the poll workers, I just appreciate you because I saw the paperwork that you turned in. There was a lot of it. And Holly Smith's team was going through every one of them with a checklist and making sure everything was turned in, everything was signed with the right number of signatures, everything was in the right color envelope. It's a big task that they're doing, and I see it as process improvement, and it allows them to see where they need to improve, and each precinct gets a score, and they have feedback as to their performance. And I just thank Holly and her team for the work they're doing. And she said she would be continuing it for through Friday. So they're doing all that detail work for 3 days. And thank you for the report, Ms. Smith. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Abaraman?
I'll be quick. To serve the voters of DeKalb County for another term is an immense privilege, and I hope to live up to that responsibility.
Thank you. I just want to thank our department, our staff, our lawyers, everyone who's working behind the scenes to really, they're putting in an immense amount of work here, long hours, putting long hours, staying late into the night. So just want to continue to thank them for the work that they're doing and appreciate the opportunity to work with this team. I know it's going to be collaborative as we continue to maintain excellence in elections in this county and ensure that all eligible voters are eligible to vote, are able to vote in an efficient manner. So thank you again for your time with us, and we look forward to seeing you, I guess, on Monday. With that, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.